In this video, we're going to install Laravel sluggable package and generate username from name on user registration with the possibility to update the username from the user profile page. That username will be used later as part of the URL when we build the user's profile page. Since we are following the full flow of building an application, I'm going to commit the migrations what we have just added. Add migrations for database schema. Let's commit. Okay, and let's move on. Now let's go to the website, and in the registration form, I'm going to add username field. I want every user to have a unique username generated from name, and that username will be used later in the URL to associate that specific user's profile page. Okay, so we added this username to the users table recently, so we have that field available. And now I'm gonna go into resources, views. Actually, we should go into JS because we are using inertia. So if we go into resources views, we're gonna only see upblade and welcome blade. Okay, but actually we are gonna work inside the vue.js components. And let's go into JS pages, and in the auth probably we are gonna open register, and we have name, email, password, and password confirmation. Okay, we want username right here, so I'm going to duplicate this name and I'm going to call this username. Okay, let's find where is the template. Here's the template. Let's collapse the left side, and this is the name area inside the whole div. We have this input label and the text input. I'm going to actually duplicate. Well, let's do like this. Whenever the user is trying to register, user does not need to provide the username. User just will provide the name and email, and the username will be automatically generated. But the username will be later be possible to be updated from the profile page. Okay, let's do like this. And to make sure that we have that username generated from the name, I'm going to use Spotty's sluggable package. Let's search for Spotty sluggable. This is the package which generates slugs from certain fields. And first of all, we're going to install that. So I'm going to copy the installation part, and let's open our terminal and make sure we are inside the Docker container where you should see sail right here. And I'm going to paste that and hit the enter. Let's go now into the documentation website, and in the usage part, I'm going to find the section where it gives us the possibility to generate the slug from multiple fields. Okay, so this is what we want. So I'm going to copy that part and open user.php model. Then I'm going to scroll down below and I'm going to paste these get slug options, but I want to import that Spotty's slug options class, and also we need to use trait has slug. So I'm going to copy that, and let's use this trait right here, has slug. And oops, I made a mistake, and let's import this has slug. Okay, cool. So we have imported this Spotty's sluggable has slug, and we have also defined this slug options method right here, get slug options, and it should generate slug from. Okay, why did I copy that part from the first name and last name? Actually, because we don't have first name and last name, and we only have name, we should pass only one field right here. Okay, I could actually get the very first example, which will be probably this. So generate slug from name and save slug into, not slug, in our case, that's going to be username. Okay, from name, I'm going to generate slug and save it into username. So I'm going to save this, and let's go into register actually, and I'm going to remove that part. This part also, Git shows me that this is new addition, so I'm going to delete that. Okay, cool. And Also, if we go into users, I am going to implement must verify email interface, and that should be enough. If I open the website right now and try to register, I'm going to provide, let's write John Smith, and I'm going to provide an email, john@example.com, my very secure and secret password. Let's hit the enter. Okay, I have been registered, but I need to verify my email address. Okay, I am not verified by itself, so I need to access now the local email, fake email sending client. And I'm going to open, let's say I don't remember on which port that client is running. We're going to open Docker Compose, and here we have all the services. Okay, so we have this through Docker running. So this is our main service, Laravel test. Then we have this MySQL service. We have this Redis service. We have Mail Search. We have MailPit, and this is exactly what I'm looking for, but let me collapse this. We have this Selenium, and that's it. Okay, so MailPit is that fake email sending service, which in this case is running on the following parts, like 1025 and 8025. So this 1025 is used for email sending. If we check in the .env and scroll down to find this email sending place, here we see this 1025 port. So this port is used to send the emails on the local service. And then we have this 8025, which is the dashboard. So we're going to open in the browser localhost 8025. Let's hit the enter, and we are in the local MailPit dashboard. Here, a minute ago, I have the following email to verify my email address. I'm going to click verify, and now my account is verified. I am John Smith. Okay, this is cool. I'm going to collapse this actually and reload this because I am verified already. And let me check right now if the username is generated in the database. So I will go in my PHP Storm. I'm going to open the database client, and I'm going to go into users, and then we have columns here. Let's reload this. And here's the username. Let's click on the username. And we see John-Smith. Okay, so this is the username which has been generated automatically. Okay, now what I want is to give the user possibility to change their username in the profile page. So we have this profile page here. Okay, and we display only name, email, and we have this update password and new password right here. So I'm going to put username right here. So let's go into resources, JS, pages, profile, and I think edit should be it. If we check what's the template here, this is the profile, must verify email, this is update password form, this is delete user form, this is update profile information form. Okay, this is what we are looking for, and that should be under partials, update profile information form. Awesome. We have the script section. Let's collapse this. We have the profile information, which is this part. We have that update your account's profile information, and down below we have this form name, which is the name, and down below we have form email. So I'm going to duplicate this form name, and Git shows me that I have a new code section right here. The Git is very convenient, especially in PHP Storm or in VS Code as well. Gives you all that information. This is for username. Let's give this proper text username. The value for that will be username. It is text form username. It should be required, and the autocomplete for username. And in terms of errors, we're going to display form errors username. Okay, now let's go into form section, and we are going to add a username here. Okay, even though the username is available in the database, I think the username is not returned right here. Okay, if I reload, I don't even see that name field here. The reason why I don't see username here is probably because we don't have this Vite server running. Let me just execute npm run dev. Now let's reload the page. And here we go. We see username. Cool. What if I try to update this and remove the dash? I'm going to hit save. I think that works. Let me just reload the page. No, that doesn't work. It doesn't get updated. Let's check the developer tools. If I see any error here, I'm going to hit save. There are no errors. But it also doesn't get updated. And the reason probably is that every time we generate this slug from the name. So if I provide something here, then hit the save, the slug gets updated and something is prepended right here. So we should not be doing it like this. We should only generate the username from the name when creating the customer, not during update. Let's go to this spotty Laravel sluggable documentation. Maybe there's some option to prevent the slug generation on update. We don't care the overriding slug. Okay. Okay, here's prevent slug from being generated on some conditions. This is also very good. Skip generate when the state equals something. Okay, not bad. Prevent slugs from being generated on creation. Okay, this is what we want, to not generate slugs on update. Let's go into user PHP and provide that method here. Cool. Let's save this. And now let me remove that part and hit on save and reload the page. It didn't get saved. No, it is not saved. Let's just change the name, hit on save. It writes saved. But if I remove that username, I think I know the reason. This username probably is not written in the request. That's why. So the good thing is that when we removed something, the slug, the username did not get updated. So it does not update based on the name. However, now we need to find this form. Let's go into routes web and let's find the auth part, and we care about the profile update section. Okay, where's that? Okay, what's the endpoint? That is profile endpoint. Do I see profile here? I don't see profile here, but I see profile right here. There's a profile controller update. I want to open that method. Let's open the profile controller. We have this edit, which renders the form, and we have update, which updates the form. Inside update, we have profile update request, and this one has only name and email. And this is the reason why our changed username is not affected. So so that profile controller is provided by Laravel Breeze, and it is available under app HTTP requests First, the controller is under app HTTP controllers profile controller, and the request is under requests profile update request. So I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to call this username. The required, it should be required string and max 255. This is good. Now I'm going to delete this something, and I'm going to remove this dash here as well, and click on save. So it writes saved here. Now let's reload the page. It didn't get saved again. Okay. First, let's see if the username is sent to the server. If we go into payload, we see username John Smith is sent. Then if we go in the update, so everything should come here. Request user field with the request validated. That should work. Can we dump and die right here? Request validated. Let's see what data is returned in this request validated. I'm going to hit on save. And we see username here. Okay, so we call fill, and probably we don't have username in the fillable. That should be the reason. Username, let's go in the profile controller, remove this, reload the page, modify the username, and hit on save. Now let's reload, and we see that the username stays. So we have implemented saving the username. However, the username needs to be something which doesn't require white spaces, and basically dashes is something we can skip. Maybe there's option also in the sluggable to handle that generated slug before it is saved. Extra scope. No, this is something different. If you have a global scope that should be taken into account, you can define this. Setting the slug suffix starting index. Integration with the Laravel translatable. Okay, this is not what I want. Okay, generate slug from. There's a function as well. And that function takes model ID local. What I want is just to remove dashes probably when the slug is generated, which I don't see here, but I think I can listen into creating event, or maybe I can even leave that dash. Is not that big deal. Okay, however, spaces should not be possible. If I put the space and hit on save and reload, we see that this is saved. This is something I want to remove from this profile update request. And for this, I need the regex, probably a regex validator. So I will go into Laravel validators, and we are going to find the regex, not regex. Okay, regex, and we're going to provide that regex. Okay, this not regex indicates that it should not satisfy this regex. So if I use this not regex and provide, we have string and max as well, but we can also provide regex, not regex, and I'm going to provide just white space, okay, -s. So it should not contain any white space. If it contains, it should fail. So let's see. I'm going to put some space, white space, and hit on save. And username field format is invalid. Okay, this is good. I think we can customize messages as well. I think we can provide for not regex. We are going to have, if I remember correctly, it should be like this, not regex test. If I just reload, put white space and something, click on save, we say test. So we should print a message here. Username cannot contain white spaces. Just like this. And hit on save, we see that username cannot contain white spaces. Okay, this is good. And probably it should only contain dot alphanumeric characters and dash and maybe number. So instead of not regex, I will provide regex, and I will type here all the regex characters that should be allowed. So that should be any alphanumeric characters. Okay, it should contain dash and dot as well, nothing else. Okay, I'm going to save this and let's change this. Username can only contain alphanumeric characters dash and dot. Okay, I would do like this. If you're watching this, learning, and if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please pause the video right now, hit the subscribe button and continue watching. So this is the best thing what you can do right now for me to support my work. So I'm going to reload the page, I'm going to type space and hit on save. Was it updated? Okay, it was updated. Okay, maybe we need to indicate at the beginning of the string, plus and ending. So it should start with one of those characters, it should only have one of those characters, and it should end right here. Now if I hit on save, we see that username can only contain alphanumeric characters dash and dot. I'm going to remove now this and put dash here, hit on submit, that works. I'm going to remove this, I'm going to put dot right here, click on save, that works. I'm going to put comma right here, and that doesn't work. Okay, so this is good. And let's just type number, that works, and uppercase John, that also works. Maybe we only need lowercase characters, so we just provide from A to Z, or like this, from A to Z, and from 0 to 9. From A to Z, from 0 to 9, dash and dot. Now if I may try to submit that, that actually works. Will something like this work? If I provide lowercase John, hit on save. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, okay, I think we cannot have these square brackets inside square brackets, so I will make this easy and just write dash W. So again, there are such small things which can be improved step by step later stage, but right now I have to spend a 1 hour research, probably less, probably more, just to figure this out. So I'm going to leave this right now. So the main thing is that we have the username, which doesn't contain space, it might contain dot, and it might contain dash inside. I'm just going to change this into John Smith. Hit on save.